Okay guys, I can confidently say that I have saved £2,000 by shaving my own head since I've been bald. So effectively, going bald has saved me £2,000. And I'll explain why. Because I shaved my head in the summer of 2020. Now, as you guys might remember, that was COVID time, it was lockdown. I had already noticed that my hair had started to thin at my crown. And I used to be the type of person who used to really like styling my hair when I did have it. I used to have lots of different styles. I used to use lots of different products. Sometimes I'd blow dry it in the morning. I'd wash it every day. I'd go to the barbers regularly. Then when COVID happened, I shaved my head and I've just kept it shaved pretty much ever since. And I've been shaving my own hair since then. I bought a £35 pair of clippers and I've just been shaving my head using those clippers about twice a week. Now, the reason why I say balding has saved me £2,000 is because I had to think about this. So it's been about 5 years since I shaved my head like this. Now, 5 years is a long time and it's not that much of a long time. But what I did realize over the space of 5 years is I have saved lots of money by not going to the barbers and by shaving my hair myself. Now, this video is applicable to bald guys, but it's also just applicable to guys shaving their own hair or cutting their own hair. Because, you know, us guys, we do like to go to the barbers. It's one of those things that we can compare in some ways to women, where women sort of like getting makeup, you know, getting their nails done, etc. The only real equivalent for guys is going to the barbershop and getting their hair cut. So guys are quite invested in, you know, making sure their hair looks nice, from my experience anyway. Now, I used to go to the barbershop probably about once every 2 weeks. I'd at least go once a month. Okay, but let's say once every 2 weeks on average. Now, I was totting these numbers up. So I used to spend about £15 on my haircut, which is actually on the lower end. Okay, so I used to get skin fade most of the time, and I used to spend £15 every 2 weeks, which is actually on the lower end of the scale. I've seen haircuts now, they're probably around £25, £30. Okay, so this was going back about 5 years ago. Now, it worked out £15 spent every 2 weeks over 5 years is £1,800. That's just on the haircuts, okay? £1,800 just on the haircuts. Now, that's not factoring in if I had to get the bus or driving to the barbershop. That's not factoring in getting products for my hair, pastes, gels, combs, hair dryers, etc. And it's also not factoring in the times I would go to the barbers in between. Say if I had an event or a night out, you guys will know if you're going on a big Saturday night out, you get that fresh fade before you go, look good for the club, look good for the bar. Yeah, that's not even factoring in those times. And that's £1,800 already. Now, I think if you do start to factor in transportation costs, if you do start to factor in products, hair dryers, etc., that will take that number up to about £2,000. And I still think £2,000 is a conservative estimate. Some guys I know go to the barbershop once a week. That's 52 times a year. And they're spending about £20, £25 going. So that will probably, I don't even know what the figures will be for that, but probably around £3,000 or £4,000 over the space of 5 years. Now, when I went bald, obviously, there's not much I could do about that. I could still go to the barbershop to get the shave, but I was like, you know what, since it is just one grade all over, I just got a pair of clippers, £35, the Remington Quick Cut Pro, which I have done a review for on my channel, quick plug. And I've just been, you know, using those same clippers for 5 years, twice a week. So again, I cut my hair more often than I used to, and it saved me a lot more money. I spent that £35. Now, yes, you can argue that I'd have to spend time charging it and stuff like that, but I don't have to buy any new blades. I just have that one product. I will have to replace that product at some point. But let's say I've spent £75 on electricity, just charging my device. That's still £100 compared to £2,000 I would have spent if I went to the barbershop. Now, I was having to think about what you could actually spend £2,000 on. That could be, you know, educational courses for yourself, like self-investment. It could be a really nice holiday. You know what? It could even be a few nice holidays, a few nice weekend breaks over the course of 5 years. It could even be a cheap car. You know, it could pay your bills for maybe 3-4 months. It could, gosh, what could it do? Buy you some new clothes. Yeah, like there's just so many. That could be your gym membership for about 2 years, if not more. There's just so many things that it could be spent on. So I just thought of it as a bit of a silver lining as to going bold, that I actually spent £2,000. It was sort of a bit of unforeseen silver lining as well. I never thought of it when I was going bold, but it's just sort of one of those additional benefits. And you know what? Also, time. I don't spend time going to the barbershops anymore. I just do it in my bathroom at home, and I'm really good at it. I can do it in about 5 minutes and the job is done. So guys, you know, if you're balding, or even if you're not and you're deciding to cut your own hair, I'm just saying that there is a silver lining, that it will save you a lot of money, and that money can be spent elsewhere. So, you know, just something that came to my head, guys, when I was reviewing the last 5 years of shaving my head. I hope that helps, and if you know, if that even gives you the encouragement to shave your head and just give it a try, see how you like it, then I hope that's worked for you. But take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.